Hello, hello, hello. It's Kathy Bedell at mystampinspot.com coming to you today with Funfold Friday. So I'm sorry that I blew out yesterday and didn't come see you on Thursday. We've had a lot of rain and a lot of humidity in New Hampshire, and yesterday was dry and crisp and sunny and beautiful, and I decided I was going for a walk and taking the afternoon off. So here I am today. Okay, this is the 6x6 glimmer paper that is in the regular catalog. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. I have the Bag of Bones dies and the Bag of Bones stamp set. I've pre-cut some pieces for today. We're going to make a fun slider card. So I did a little bit of the prep work. I've never made one of these. I did the prep work, and I'm hoping that I did everything I need. And if not, then I may have to cut. Well, we'll see. I also have the Stylish Shape dies. That's what I'm using as my cutout. You can see here. We'll talk about that in a minute. So that's that. Okay. So, and then I have a whole bunch of these left over from the DSP, the Halloween DSP that we cut and didn't use for the classes. Joelle was on a cutting frenzy, apparently. Good morning, Penny, Joanna, how are you? So this 6x6 DSP is in the catalog, and I have to admit, it's a little kind of glampy for me. That I'm a little more subtle in what I like, but I want to show you what I did. If you just take a blending brush and an ink pad, hey, Linda, you can add color, and you can make it any color glimmer you want. I then I did a Cajun Craze, and I did Old Olive, and then I went and I cut the cowboy hat and the cowboy boots, and then this kind of top hat fedora with these little, they're actually like wingtip shoes. See the dies? They're actually like little wingtip shoes. There's the cowboy hat and the fedora and the cowboy boots. So I pre-did that for us. All right, now, and I picked up these two skeletons. We'll see what we use. Okay, so I have a card base. That's for the inside. That is 4 by 5 1/4, and that is for the inside. I have a pumpkin pie. It's 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. It's your basic card base, and we are going to do it landscape orientation. So that will go on the inside. Now I'm going to show you what I have. We're going to make a slider card, okay? And so I wanted this piece. This is the DSP that came out of the paper pack. The problem is, if we used just this for the slider card, it may rip. So when I die cut it, I put it against a piece of just black. So this is going to be the whole card front size. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I have the black cut as well. And I'm going to go ahead and glue these two pieces together because, like I said, if just the DSP may be too flimsy, so we want to really do a good job and adhere around the outside. This is way more glue than I usually use, but I want to make sure that these line up and stay nice and tight. And there we go. Okay, so that's where, excuse my dirty fingernails, I was in the garden this morning. Okay, so there's where we're at there. Now what we're going to do, so this is just the extra die cuts. I'm just going to put those aside. So what we want is, we're going to put a piece of white here. And here's the idea of how it's going to work. I'm going to cover that up. I cut a strip. Let me see the size of the strip. This is probably too long. We may need to trim it down. But I started at like 5 3/4 by 1 1/2. And again, we may need to trim this up. Not the width, but the length. But we'll do that after. So what the basic mechanism is, this is going to be adhered here. I might as well do that. I'm going to just adhere that right down now. And we're going to hope that I don't make a mistake when I'm stamping. So this is slightly smaller than the DSP and black cardstock layer that we're going to put on, okay? So the idea here is we're going to put this piece in here, and it's going to go under here, and this is going to slide like this. Okay? Now, I have to give you a cautionary tale. This is going to hang out and be longer than the envelope. I'll tell you how to address it. You can leave a longer tab and fold it, or you could make the tab shorter and attach a ribbon to the back of it so that the ribbon pulls in and out. I'm going to do the tab, but you could do a ribbon instead because, like I said, this is going to hang out a little longer than the card. So this is my trio punch from the annual catalog, and I'm just popping it in here. I needed a quarter rounder, but we don't carry one presently. Well, that is funky, isn't it? Let me try this again. I think, you know what? I should have turned this over, I think, to get it to be symmetrical. So I think if I turn it over, it'll be symmetrical. Because, yeah, so that's symmetrical. So put it in and then turn it over. I didn't turn this over and see how it's not symmetrical. Okay, so that's the key to the trio punch. Who knew that? I guess I didn't realize that. All right, so now the question is, do I need to chop off that end? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to leave that end right as it is because you're not going to see it, even though I messed up on it. You're not going to see it. Yes, I think I'm going to leave it. Actually, I'm going to trim it. I'm not going to totally get rid of it, but I am going to trim it. I'm just going to... Now, in a perfect world, I probably would cut another piece and do this over. Okay. All right, now, what I'm looking to do is put this up on dimensionals, and we need to know where this needs to be. Okay, so we don't want to dimensional where this is. So I'm going to leave this right here. And this is going to require a lot of dimensionals. This is a good time to use your edge strip and or the strips of dimensionals that we carry. This would be a good time for that. So we don't want it too tight because we don't want the slider to get caught on it. And you'll see why it'll stay in place in a minute when I finish. Hey, Donna, Mary, how are you this morning? You'll see why it stays in place and why we don't need to worry about boxing it in. I just want the DSP piece to be sitting tight against it. So I'm going to just pull off these edges. And I'm putting the straight edge towards this piece. Now that gives me a little wiggle room, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and add, oops, dimensionals up here. I probably should have done the dimensional strips that we have. That may have been the best way to go. Now, truth be told, I'm trying to decide because I've never made one of these. I'm wondering if I should put one here or leave it open. I think I'm going to leave it open. My theory is I'm going to put something on here so I don't think it'll go past this. So for now, I'm going to leave it be. Okay, and I'm just going to pull all these off. Now, the tricky part is you could try to stamp. I'm going to stamp once this layer is on because, like I said, I've never done this before and I'm not... Sometimes when you haven't done it before, it just, I don't know, you don't always get the best quality, but at least you know where it goes. If you make a couple of these, you may be able to better gauge where to stamp. So I'm trying to line this up. Oh, I know how to gauge. I made it the exact card front size, so I don't want any orange hanging out the outside. Okay, so now see how this is going to slide in and out? Okay, now what we're going to do here is we are going to, first, I want to stamp Happy Halloween on here. I'm hoping that it fits in there. I'm thinking it will. And I'm going to do it with the Starry Sky just to make it a little brighter. Hey, thanks for sharing, Donna. Grateful for that. Okay, so sometimes when you put the stamp down, it's straighter on your block. Okay, so I'm just leaving a little tab out like that. And so then I want to stamp over here. I'm praying this goes good. I'm going to find out. Man, it's all right. I'm going to get my little Starry Sky marker and fill in here just a little bit. So this is, if you make a few of these, this is where it would really help to, once you get used to this, I would say take a pencil, and that's what I should have done. I should have taken a pencil and kind of marked like this, so I knew where the edge was, and then come over here and stamped, and then put it back in. That would have been the smart way to do it. See, I told you. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times to figure out the best way. So that would have been the best way to do this. Okay. Now, I'm going to cover up my Starry Sky. I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to put the little green you know what? I'm going to do this with glue dots so it's not so messy here while I'm working. I do think that I would use white glue if I weren't in a rush for this to be dry. So I am going to put the green shoes on the orange dude. Like so. Give him little green shoes, little sparkly shoes. He's happening. He's hip. He's ready. He's ready to celebrate. These little guys. I think I've mentioned it before. I'm not a huge Halloween person. When the kids were younger, I really like to decorate for the fall. But there's something about these skeletons that really kill me. They're really funny. And I'm going to put his little hat at an angle. Like that. Okay, here's one thing I do need to do. I need to roll this glue dot down because I don't want it to catch on my card front at all. So I want to make sure the glue dot is only on the skeleton's head. I'm going to have him be there. Yeehaw! And then we'll have the little cowboy guy. By the way, if you ordered the Halloween class, they went out yesterday. Right on time. I was glad about that. All right, now this one I'm going to roll up my glue dots just a little bit and put it on his feet because I'm not really sure where the cowboy boots are going to sit here. Sometimes you have to work backwards. The dies are kind of standalone, actually, Donna. So let me just put this glue dot down, and then I'll show you. The dies are back in stock, by the way. They came in yesterday. So I take that back. No, the dies really aren't standalone. So you can cut out all the pieces, but I'm not sure if you cut out this leg. If you didn't have the bone joints and the foot joints, I'm not sure it would make sense, to be honest with you, Donna. So I don't. If you had the DSP, I mean, you could definitely cut apart the pieces from the DSP. See how that hand would fit there, and that leg would fit there, and that one fits there. But I don't know. Once the DSP is gone, I'm not sure that these dies here. I mean, they do have hats and shoes and top hats and this cool fence and the moon, the headstone. This is a walking stick with a bow tie. I mean, there are a lot of other great things in here, but as far as the bones go, I do think that you probably need the stamp set for that. Because I don't think if you don't have these images, I'm not sure that it would make sense. Like, the cat and dog outline wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense if it didn't have the bones. Now, if you're a little bit of an artist, you could draw them, I suppose, but I'm not that good, so. All right, let me put these boots on him. Yeehaw! Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. Oh, you're welcome. So, we want, let me push this forward. We want this little guy to be right at the edge here. So let me push this all the way in, like this. He's going to sit. We're going to attach him to this slider piece. This guy, we're going to just put up on dimensionals right here where he sits, like this. Stick a couple of dimensionals on here. You could go crazy with the mini dimensionals down his legs. I'm not going to do that because you don't need to sit and watch all that, but okay, I'm going to put him a little higher than I'm going to put this guy. Now this guy we want to slide, okay, but I am going to pull this all the way over, so he'll be on here, and I want to right here put boo to you, or bonjour. Happy Halloween. Maybe, I don't know, what do you like better, boo to you or bonjour? We'll go with one of those. What do you think? Anybody have any opinions? Maybe I'll do boo to you. I need a small block for this. And again, I'm going to do this in the starry sky. The only reason why I'm doing the boo to you versus the bonjour is because it's a little thicker. All right, and so I want to just stamp this behind the slider, like that. Okay. All right, now let's get this guy on my slider piece. Now this is where you need to be a little bit careful because you only want him attached to this piece. You don't want him to be attached here. So I actually just pulled 2 dimensionals and that's not going to work. I'm going to have to do one, and I need to be careful because when it's all the way over, it needs to be about there. Oh, I didn't pop out his little arm bone. Okay, we're going to put him here, like that, and then, boop, isn't that cute? Okay, I have a lot of little cats and dogs, and I think, what do we have here? Ooh, so these are currently out of stock, but these are the glow-in-the-dark bats and ghosts. I'm going to put a couple on here, just for a little extra fun. There we go. I can't wait for those to come back in stock. Now, do I have any dogs, or are they all cats? Let's see. I'm telling you, Joelle was on a frenzy with the die cutting. So let's see. I don't know if I have a dog. Well, that's okay. We'll just put a little cat sitting at the guy's feet. Let's do a colored one. Let's do this dark orange one. And do this Cajun Craze cat. I'm going to sit him down here. Now again, you have to actually, maybe I'll sit him over here, and I'll tell you why. Because we have to be careful. We don't want him bumping into it. Whoops! We don't want him bumping into it and it getting caught up. Oh, look at, like this ghost. I have to move that ghost. I have to move the ghost because his hand was getting caught on that. Okay, so maybe I'll put this guy over here. Either over here or over here. Oh yeah, I should have him sitting up on the fence. Yeah, I think I'll put him down here. All right, and let's do the, whoops. Didn't get that placed right. I know the boots and cowboy hat are so funny. Thank you, Mary. Okay. Now again, I say, when you go to mail this, This is overhanging just a little bit. So you can do a couple things. You can score it and just pull it up, or you could put a piece of ribbon behind it and tuck it all the way in and then pull it out. I'm going to leave it like that because I think that will fit in an envelope okay, especially since it's just a tiny little tab. But that's what I'm going to do there. Okay, let's work on the inside. I'm going to put Eat, Shriek, and Be Scary like that. And again, I'm going to do it in the Starry Sky. And I could stamp some bones, but I have so many of these left over. I'm going to put one of those inside. There we go. Close this up. Donna, I'm sorry. Okay. The DSP is really my favorite, I think, out of all of it, but, and you get a lot of them. So I think, let me see what color we like here. I think I like this guy. So I'm going to just pop this flat, oops, on here. I need my silicone mat. I don't have it right here. I pulled it off to the other side. So Stamp Club by Mail in October will have a fall version of this card. It will not be a Halloween version, but I will put one of these. I'm looking for an orange cat. I should have maybe done a hat or something for him. But, oh well. I'm looking for a colored cat just because I think it'll stand out better than the white. But I think we're going to have to do the white kitty. I'm going to put the white kitty down there. There we go. And let's put this on the inside. So Stamp Club by Mail for October will have a cute slider card like this, but it won't be Halloween. It won't be Halloween. It'll be something else. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to surprise you. Oh, look, there's a darker kitty I could have used. That's okay. I think the white still looks cute. So there we go. Isn't that cute? I love it. So again, the dies are back in stock. I don't know for how long, but they're back in stock right now. And this is the Bag of Bones stamp set and die. The glow in the dark are currently not available. I used the Stylish Shape dies and the DSP. So there we go. So again, if you need to know, this piece was underneath. There's a white piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. I took the DSP, cut it 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and backed it with a piece of black, the same size, so that it was sturdier, because I worry that the DSP isn't quite as sturdy. If you were just using cardstock, you wouldn't have to back it. And then this slider piece was, well, it'll be based on the opening, basically. So the slider piece is a little over 5 1/2 inches. It's about 5 3/4 inches, but then I trimmed it down when I used the punch by, I think, what was that? That was 1.5 inches wide. But again, the width is going to be determined on what shape you put here. If I had used a little thin shape like that, you would have only need 1 inch wide. So it all determines like what products you are using. So there we go. Boo. All right. Thanks for being here. It is Friday. I hope you all have a great weekend. Hurricane Lee's coming up the coast. I'm a little bit inland, so I don't think it's going to affect me. But I do hope that everybody's safe if you are in the path, especially up there in Maine, because I do think Maine's going to get it. So listen, have a great weekend, and thanks for being here, and I will see you all on Monday. Bye-bye.